Okay, I'm doing part 2. We will try part 2. Still doing a live stream. Having some technical difficulties in the part 1. Part 2 started. Part 2. Could not get back in. So I started a new one. So I gotta wait for everybody to come back in. Welcome back. It sounds better now. Okay. Well, I wrote a note on the in the chat to come find part 2. Come find me in the next video. Come find me. So, yeah. Okay. Well, let's see if that works then. Okay. Okay, well, we got 2 of you over here. Some of y'all came over. There's 6 people in the room. Well, I couldn't get him to whistle. So this was the first sunshine, and I think I've got it whistling. It's almost whistling. Of course, this was my original. So it whistles. And then I made another one tonight. And it needs work. That's okay. So I might have to do some more shaving. So anyway, I'm thinking that maybe next week I'll do my first firing, and it's time. It's time to get some stuff in the oven. We've been making a bunch of stuff, so hopefully I have enough stuff made up to make a full load. So we'll see. So I don't know. I'm not an expert. But so yeah, light that fire up. That's right. One of the things I got to do is I got to get out there and clean my shelves off, and I've got to do some treatment to the shelvings. You put this a white powder wash on top of the shelvings. It's called kiln wash. It's some kind of a wash, and it's a chemical, and it's something that you get it wet and mix it up, and it looks like cornstarch, and then you paint your tops of your shelves with it, and let it dry. And this white powdery stuff, uh, you can lay your clay right on it, and your clay won't stick to your shelves because your shelves are made out of fire brick, and if your clay melts to it, while it's cooking or something, then your clay won't melt to the shelf because of the kiln wash. It's a preventative to keep it from sticking. And if you have anything with glaze on it, you can actually glaze your cup to your shelving, and you can't get it off. It's glass. And the only way to get it off is to chip it off with a hammer and chisel. But the kiln wash, you can sit something right on top of the shelf with that kiln wash on there, and it's used like a flouring technique when you're baking to prevent stickage to your shelving. And and I have little uh, fire brick uh, objects that I use to sit things on so that they're not sitting directly onto the shelf. And I've got these little stilts things that I can sit my things on. Now, when I do a bisque firing, I can lay it directly onto the shelf. But if I do a glaze firing, after I've painted everything, I want everything to be up on stilts on a prong. I've got these little things called, they're like jacks, and they're metal and they're spiky, and you can put 2 or 3 underneath this and sit it on top so that it's sitting on the spikes, not directly onto the shelf. And that way my piece, because it's going to be painted on both sides, that way my piece will not stick to the shelf. It'll be up on these little spikes. And those little, they look like jacks. If you ever played jacks and balls when you were kids. And that's what I did with these. It was sitting on some kind of something to raise it up off the shelf when I fired it the second time. And but we'll bisque them. We'll bisque everything, and then we'll fire, and then we'll get to paint everything, and then we get to fire it again. And we will be able to do the second firing just as soon as I get enough painted. So as fast as we can paint, we'll paint. I'll paint day and night until I get it done, and we'll get a bunch of stuff painted. And hopefully by that time I'll have my camera set up in the garage. So that's that story. That's that story. So, because I know you all been waiting and waiting and waiting, and I'm getting tired of waiting, but I have to wait till Joe gets everything he needs, and so I've been being patient with him. So that's all right. That's okay. But I'm just going to have to work on these guys later. I'm not having any luck. And I'll do it tomorrow. I'll have to do it tomorrow. So I'm going to move on from this project. And I got some Happy Mail to show you. I did get some Happy Mail. I forgot about my Happy Meal. Okay. Let me get a couple of these tools out of the way here. We tried to do some good. I did. Somebody said something last week or so, a week or so ago, about some samples, and I think it was Barb Filion up in Canada. So she said she posted a site on my Facebook page where you could get some free samples. And this is called the Shade Store. And you go to theshadestore.com and you can order free samples. They didn't have a limit, but they sent me a catalog, and some of the pictures in this catalog is something that I can use on my reverse collage. And the first one I saw was this one right here, the doors. So this would be something that I could put on a page, and then I'd have the doors to open up on a reverse collage. And some of these are just curtains and designing things, window shades. It's all window shades. And so anyway, I ordered some samples, and they sent me these samples in this cute little plastic book. I got 2 of them. And I chose the blue theme. So these are samples that you can get your shades in. And And they all have a tag on them from the shade store of the color they are. And this is like vellum. But wouldn't that be cute in some of my artwork on my dog tags? And look how cute these fabrics are. I chose all blue. I chose all the blue colors, and this is stitched on with the machine. These are geometric designs, and they're stitched on with the sewing machine. Stripes and solids, and all kinds of blues and turquoise. Won't that be cute? So go to theshadestore.com, and this is like wool. This is like a wool. It feels like wool. It is 100% wool. Woohoo! And there's all kinds of, there was no limit. I just clicked sample, and lo and behold, here they come in my on my doorstep. And it says, thank you for your swatch order. So they're hoping, of course, that I would buy some shades from them using their fabrics. Now these fabrics are like um, plastic, indoor outdoor type stuff. And aren't they cute? Look at them all. So maybe we can use one for our doggy tag tonight. Isn't that cool? And they're so anyway, I've got all these swatches now, so we can have a party. And it came in this little cute little case to keep them in. So I scored. How about that? So all you have to do is go to the shade store, and I had to give them my email and my phone number. But other than that, I got some really cool shades, and they sent me here's the other one. There were so many of them. They sent me in 2 packages. So look at all these different prints and vellums. And I would love to have some of this fabric for my outdoor cushions. Wouldn't that be cool by the pool? Some of these fabrics. I've looked at cushions for the around the pool, and they are so expensive, and they're not that great quality. If the quality was better, I think I would be more apt to buy some of these things around the pool. But the quality is terrible. But now this quality here, this is wipeable. This is wipeable. I could dip this into the pool, rinse it off, and put it right back on the chair. And it would be such a cool piece by the pool. And this is like a piece of vellum. So I think we should have a blue dog tonight. What kind of dog are we into tonight? Let's do a dog tag. Elle. We're on Elle. What are we on? Is it Labrador? Labrador Retriever. Here comes Joe. Honey. So anyway, these swatches are really, really cool. And he's been working on my rain stick. Hi Tanya. This is called the Shade Store. Theshadestore.com. And they give you free swatches. You go in there and you can get as many swatches as you want. So, and they're free. So I recommend you go to the shade store, and within a week you'll get your free stuff. So that was my happy mail. Woohoo! Woohoo! Okay, my next happy mail is from Joe.
Me?
Yeah, Joe brought me some happy mail today.
Yeah, big spender.
And he went to the secondhand store and found this craft box for 50 cents. So is it a keeper? Is it worth 50 cents? What do you think? Would you pay 50 cents for this box of junk?
She hasn't seen the big surprise.
Just wait. Hang on. There's more.
No, she ain't gonna see
Let me show you. Let me show you what I got for 50 cents. Can I get it only in person? You go to the website, Tanya, and ask, like you're going to make an order, and you pick samples. You click the samples of the colors you want. They'll come up in categories, like on home, indoor, outdoor, something like that. And you just click out the colors you want, and then you give them your email address and your home address and your telephone number. And they will mail you those samples for free. And if you have any more trouble, you be sure and message me. I'll be glad to help. Giovanna, it would be great for you to order it. Anyway, here's what's inside, girls. Check this out. I got this stamp. 50 cents. It's a little frame. Been used once. I got some more stamps. This one's candy corn, so it'll go into the Halloween. This one's a leaf, so it'll go into the Halloween. This is a baby. I've got a little baby, another baby one. Here is a bear and a barrel of suds. Here is some apples, country style. Here is an orange citrus. Here's another baby. It's a girl. And I've got another little baby one that says, "Oh, baby" on it. Here is a rabbit pulling a wagon. That was old.
I was just gonna say it looks like an old one. Looks like my numerals.
All night idea. Here's another piece of candy corn. So that'll be in the Halloween. Here is an ornament. That'll go in my Christmas drawer. I've got a drawer for just Christmas. Excuse me. Here is a let's do lunch. And I've got a drawer for words. I got some raffia, which is for like a wreath to make a bow. So that'll go in my odds and end drawer. Some blue ribbon, satin blue ribbon. Maybe we'll use this for our doggy tonight. I'll leave that one out. And here's some more blue ribbon. I think we're going to have a blue dog tonight. And there's other little bits, bobs, and laces in here. Look how pretty that is. That's worth 50 cents by itself. Some more lace. Some more lace. It looks like they decorated some boxes. Some little boxes or something. But this is double, triple triple lace. There's some buttons in here. There's a nail file. And it looks like it's from the Dollar Tree. And it looks like it's old. And I bet you a nickel it don't work. I bet you it's all dried out. Just from experience. But it's a nail file. And it looks like it's I can use it in the craft room. Looks okay. So there's some little tiny pieces down here. Here's a little potpourri bag with a ring on it, so it's something from a wedding. There's some more buttons. There's a baby bottle. Some more buttons. There's some dried flowers down here. A couple of glue sticks. Score. Some roses. I got some buttons. Let's use one of these on the dog. Let's use the buttons on the dog. Thanks, Joe. Put them in the button drawer. Put the glue sticks in the glue stick drawer.
75% off.
Yeah, it was 75% off. And there's some little roses in here. And some little things. Abby, honey, what's wrong? What she want, Joe?
She don't want to go out because she chased the cat. The cat almost fell in the pool.
Oh my goodness. So anyway, there's some beads.
No.
So there's another piece of blue ribbon. I think we should have maybe we'll have a baby dog with a baby bottle.
You could use that piece of twine in there on your. There's a brown piece of twine right there. No,
You talk about this one?
Yeah.
This is not twine, but I've got twine.
Oh, for your
This fluffs out to become
paper. It's just wet paper.
Yeah, it's just paper. I've never really done it, but it fluffs out. So I got some elastic. Check this out. Woohoo! Joe, you need any elastic? Yeah, buddy. Some black ribbon. Some more lace. Look at this. Somebody was busy. That's pretty. Okay, let's I'm going to leave all this rest of this in here. Thanks, Joe. Happy mail. So this will go in the words. This will go in the Christmas, and this will go in Halloween. We'll put them up. Clean up, put up.
Shut up.
Shut up. Get up and shut up. There's Halloween.
Mercy.
Here's words. And here's Christmas. And these are miscellaneous. I've got animals, and I've got flowers, and I've got blanks.
And I ain't gonna get you no drafts. Zoo. You ain't got any zoo animals, do you?
I've got animals.
Oh. Okay.
That'll be where the rabbit goes, and the bear goes in the animals. And my drawers are so full I can't get them shut.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, they're too full.
I promise I'm
And then I've got apples and oranges. So apples and oranges goes into shapes with the strawberries. And then the baby, I think it goes into the words with words. So I've got those put away. I've got this much to stash back and leave in this tub for the closet, which I don't have no room for. Nope, I have no room for it. So, thanks guys for hanging out with me. And we'll clean my desk up just a little bit. My jars are full as a tick. They're full. So I am going to see about getting another tag. I got a blue tag, and the next dog is a Labrador Retriever. So we got to do a Labrador. And I was thinking, since we have all this blue, we can maybe make his clothes out of blue satin. And I'll use this wallpaper. Mm-hmm. So let me get my pencil back out. And let's see. And it's going to be Elle. Did somebody want a black Labrador? A black lab. Aren't they good? Those Labradors are good. Now, black, yellow, chocolate. Yep, they're all good. My sister used to have a black lab, and um, he was all black, and he had a little bit of white hairs on him. So they called him Big Bit because he was big and he had bits of white. And then she got a little dog, a little black dog, and the little black dog had a little bit of white, and they called him Little Bits. So they were little bits and big bits. Uh-huh. And she kept Big Bits for quite a long time, and he finally he passed away, and he was on the back porch with mom and dad, and my mom looked over at dad and said, "George, I think little bit, BB just died. She stopped breathing. And sure enough, she stopped breathing. But she was like, oh my gosh, 15, 16 years old. And she had a very, very good life, very happy. And so my mom called my brother-in-law, and he came over and got her and took care of her. And it's just, it's sad, but it's nature too. And the dog had a wonderful life. It was well taken care of, and it was so funny. My sister had cats, and she had gotten a hold of some baby cats, and those cats would nurse on little bits, big bits. She was a mama, and she had tits, and the cats would suck on the dog. They'd be laying down there on her bed, and Kay would hear all this sucking and going on, and all this slurping. And she looked over and she said, "I'll be daggone if them cats were not nursing on that dog." And she was mothering him. She was mothering the cats. It was so funny. Now that is a happy story. I'm sorry. I don't care what you say. That's a happy story. So there's my Labrador. You have to come up with an Elle name. An Elle. Elle. Well, I cut it out backwards. That don't help me none this way. I can cut it out again. Cut it out this way. All right, let's see how that works now. Thanks, Giovanna. Thank you. I can always count on you. It's all right. We can do her again. Now let's see. I gotta have some tan paper. I might be able to use this book over here. Yeah, I can find some tan paper in here. That looks good right there. So you all have to come up with an Elle name. Lenore, Lorraine,
Let's say Lorraine.
Joe is coming up with names. No, I haven't. I haven't heard from her today. Teresa had to go fix dinner, and I know she was going to be really scared. And we didn't want her to be scared. This could be a puppy. He can sit on on here. I can highlight him in black. And I can put a shirt on him. Didn't do very good on the shirt. Might have to do it again. 3 times a charm. Three times a charm. Mm-hmm. I don't mind. I think what I'll have to do is glue it down and then cut it on from the back side. That's what I'll do. Well, good, Crafty. Yeah, I rebooted and started a new stream. So they thought it was on my end. And I'm not sure how it works, so I agreed and I just rebooted and did it again. No problem with me. Don't mind at all. hear any argument from me. So I'll get some glue on my doggy. And I'll put this ribbon on. And then I'll cut the dog sweater. Then I'll cut the dog sweater. Okay. So there. Okay. Okay. Now we get to decorate him. I'm going to outline him in black. I tell you, I didn't know if I was able. I knew I did the cat tags okay, and they were kind of the same shape, over and over, and we just decorated them. And I didn't know if I could do doggies, but we're doing them. We're doing the dogs. We're doing the dogs. Little by little. Okay. There's our doggy. Did y'all come up with any names? Little boy Blue. We could call him Little Boy Blue. We can give him a baby bottle. We can give him a baby bottle because he's a baby pup. And I've got some lace I can put on his little skirt. Little Bubby, little brother. And I've got those hearts, and I've got a button. We could put a button on his sleeve. And I've got some doggy stickers over here. Let's see what I got. See, I've got some doggy stickers in here. Let's see. Love is you and me. I could put that on there. I've got a few letters. If you all come up with a name, I could put his name in these. My one and only. He could go on there. And I've got Got a bumblebee. Here is, let's see, Cindy Bell sent me these stickers. I've got a dog bowl, some puppy paw prints, it won't fit anywhere else. If I put that there, I won't have enough room to put the tag, but I could put the paw prints somewhere up here. You don't see an L in my alphabet in the Labrador for the Labrador Retriever? Because we did the K and the L. Oh, on my ephemera sheet. You're right. The L's are gone. Okay, so that's out. That's out. That's out. We'll have to do something else. Okay. Looking good. using all my craft supplies. I tell you, I love it. Love it. Buttons and bows. Buttons and bows. Okay, what do y'all think about that? LaRue. Hi, Rhonda. LaRue. Little brother. How you doing, Rhonda? We're doing this little dog tag. Trying to come up with a perfect name for him. The little feller. Little feller. Oh, well, great, Rhonda. I'm glad that you do. What are you painting on tonight? That's great. We just kind of goof off. We goof off around here. So anyway, we got a little boy with us today. There's our little boy. He's my one and only, and he's a baby, and he's got a dog food, and he's got a little sweater on. Couldn't get rid of the wrinkle, but that's okay. We like texture. And there he is, guys. Well, great, Rhonda. You like to do watercolor. That's wonderful. I like to watercolor, but right now I just don't have time to give it the time it deserves. But I do have we do a lot of crafts, as you know. We've been goofing off with all kinds of crafts. And I think this looks really nice. I am going to get a ruler and go around the perimeters with a black marker. And I think we need to call him Little Bubba or something. Little boy. Little boy. How about little boy? He could be our baby boy. There he is, right there. And I'm going to put all this back into my jar of snippets. My jar of snippets for the next one. We'll save those. Save those ribbons. And I never did use any of my new samples. What can we use our samples with? I should have used one of the samples for his shirt. What can we do with our samples? This is so cool. It's like vellum. He's a cute little boy. That's right. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. We'll just continue to decorate him up. I'll use some of these samples. He's just a little puppy. He's still on formula. He's not even a year old yet. He's just a puppy. Well, she's doing okay. Norma's doing okay. Nora, she's very quiet. She barks at cars, which is good. She alerts me that someone's around. She was barking at Joe outside the window because he was putting up a fence, which is good. She was alerting me that someone was in the yard, and I said, thank you, good girl, to stop her from barking, continuing. And she likes to go outside, and she likes to lick the cat bowl. And she's hungry all the time, but I feed her twice a day. And her and Abby are not sleeping together, but they're in the same room together. And the cat doesn't bother the cat. She walks by the cat. They walk by each other and sniff each other out. They're fine. And she won't jump up on the couch. She will not jump up on the bed. She lays on the floor. She has been trained not to get on furniture. And I told Joe that I think somebody has lost this dog. This dog is so nice and so kind. Um, I got some toys out for her today, and she started playing with toys. And she started chewing up a toy, and I said, "That's great. That's your job. Chew the toy. Chew the toy, not my shoes." And she'll come into the bedroom and sniff around, and she goes back to the living room. She sleeps on the living room floor. She didn't want to sleep in the same room with us. So whoever had her probably made her sleep in the living room, is what I'm kind of thinking. She doesn't want to snuggle with us. And she's very good. She's just very, very, very good. And Joe and I talked about it, and uh, she's not the purebred that I was looking for, which is skipper key. And she's more of she's got skipper key in her because part of her tongue is black like a chow, and she's got the white teeth, and she's got the eyes like a skipper key, but her head is big like a German shepherd. And she's big. She's got big paws like a German shepherd. So I'm thinking she's mixed, which is we knew she was. She knew she was going to be mixed. But I think she's going to be a bigger dog than what we were expecting. So I'm up in the air about whether we keep her or whether we give her back, uh, because she's not the dog that I was really wanting. I was wanting to get, but she's such a good dog, so maybe we should keep her. So my mom came over today, and she brought me a pot of soup. And she says, "I wanted to come see the baby." And she says, "Well, you need to make up your mind before you fall in love with her." And I said, "Yeah, you're right." But the dog lady, the foster mother, told her told her to that told us that she would take her back, within 30 days, if she didn't get along with Abby, or if she wasn't the right fit. She said that she would take her back with a full refund. So that's not a problem. And through the foster mother, um, I was on Facebook is how I found her, and there were like three or four other people in line after me that want a chance at her, that want her as well. And there was one guy from Virginia said, "I'll drive down and come get her if you let me have her." So so and she really is a good dog. So uh so I told Joe, I said, she's kind of takes to him, and she likes men. So I'm thinking that maybe she had a man owner before, and because she likes Joe and she follows Joe around. And when Joe goes out the door, she sits there by the door until he comes back in. And it's almost like she's waiting for somebody to come back to get her. And uh, all these things are running through my mind. And but yeah, if she's not the right fit, we would give her back and try again. And but I'm having the hard time making the decision. And Joe told me that it was perfectly fine with him if this wasn't the right dog, because he says you were the one who wanted the dog. If it's not the right one, then then let's give her back and we'll find the right one, because I was wanting more of a lap dog, and she's not a lap dog. She's 20 pounds, and she is a heavy 20 pounds. And but she's beautiful and she's good. But it has nothing to do, with the dog. It's just what I was going to plan with the dog. And And if you've ever had a skipper key or seen a skipper key, you would know where I was coming from. You would know where I was coming from because Abby is a skipper key, and boy, I tell you, having the new puppy and then having Abby, it has really showed me how old Abby is because Abby looks really old now that I've had her next to a real puppy. And Abby looks her age. Abby is looking her age, and she is showing her age. And she's right here behind me, and she's so good. And also, I wanted to tell you there has been some rumors about some of the dog treats that that the dogs have, the dog treats that they're selling. And one of the things is one of the ingredients is glycerin. So if you find the ingredients and you find glycerin in your dog treats, it's making your dogs sick. Stop it immediately and take the food back to the store. Glycerin is an additive ingredient that they do not need to put in dog food. And it's got something in it that's poisoning the animals. I watched a video last night and my mouth dropped to the floor. There was some dogs on this news channel and they were saying that their dog was getting sick. And this one lady said her dogs were starting to have accidents in the house. And so, and then there was a man that said, that his dog was starting to have accidents, and then his dog actually died. And so they found out that it was the glycerin in the dog treats. And it was dog treats, it was chicken jerky, was a lot of it, was chicken jerky from China. So if you have any dog food or cat food from China, you need to look at your ingredients really, really well and check it out. You can check it out for yourself, and there's proof that the stuff that they're sending from China is anything and everything in the food. They don't care. They'll put anything in the food to make it filling, and they'll put anything in the food to make the dogs want to eat it and want to buy more. It's all about the profit. And the glycerin has some kind of an ingredient that is very, very harmful to the dogs, and it causes renal shutdown. Therefore, the dogs are going to have more accidents in the house. Well, last month when I read this article, we were giving Abby a doggy chew from Walmart, and it was like a rawhide, but it was fake. It wasn't real hide. It was pressed because she doesn't have any back teeth, so she can't chew on a lot of it. But it had glycerin in it, so Joe took it back to the store. And do you know she has had not one PP accident since then? We keep a PP pad down in the bedroom in the corner. And ever since we stopped giving her those treats, she hasn't used her PP pad. She can make it outside now. See, she's always had a PP problem, and I just thought that I was a bad mother and that I didn't train her well enough to hold her pee to make her go outside. So she's always had a little pee pad in the corner somewhere so that if she wanted to go, she can go on the pee pad. It was acceptable. Okay. So I didn't scold her for peeing in the house. But ever since I quit giving her that jerky, that treat that had the glycerin in it, she's had only one pee accident where she's pee-peed on the pee pad. One time. And I am really, really convinced that it was to do with the dog treats we were giving her. So I haven't been giving her any dog treats. She just gets dog food. And I have to put, I've spoiled my dog, okay? And I admit it. I there was a time in my life where I said I would never ever fry my dog a hamburger or fry my dog some chicken and give my dog table food. I swore I would never be like that. Well, I'm eating my words and I do that now because she's old and she has been a working dog and she's been such a good dog. I feel like spoiling her for the rest of her life. And I told Joe after she turned 10 that I was going to spoil this dog until the day she died because she has been such a good dog. So I fry a hamburger and I fry up chicken and if I fix us fish, she gets a fish of her own. I give her a fish and I give it with her dog food and she eats it. But if I were just to leave the dog food out, she would not eat it for days. She would not eat for days. And I said that I wasn't going to do that to her. I was going to spoil her because I loved her that much. And I really do appreciate this dog being my dog all of this time. That she was my first dog. And I swore that uh, I would take care of her. So that was my promise to the dog. But with the new dog, uh, I was hoping that I would have more of a skipper key, a smaller dog, a lap dog, a dog that would sleep with me. And she will not get in the bed with us. And so even though she's a great dog, and she's no trouble because you never hear her, she's in the other room, you never see her. She doesn't follow me around that much. She comes back and checks on me and then she goes back to the living room. So so anyway, I found out about the glycerin and I said, well, and the dog hides, the raw hides that they sell, if you saw the processing plant of how they process that rawhide to make chew toys, for dogs, you would never buy one of those rawhides if you saw how they process it. They actually soak those things in bleach to get them to be white. And then they soak them in that barbecue sauce to make them dark brown. And that is not good for your dog. Bleach is not good for anybody, okay? Whether you're a person or an animal. And they say that they chew off pieces of the rawhide and swallow it, and it doesn't dissolve because it's leather. And it has caused more dogs to have surgery because they clog up their intestines. So you're giving those rawhides to your dog with a risk of causing harm to your dog. That's your choice. If you think if you don't care about the dog and you want to give the dog a rawhide, then go for it. But if the dog eats the rawhide and it doesn't dissolve and it can't pass through his intestines, he will either die or you'll have to have expensive surgery. So anyway, there's another ingredient that they're putting in peanut butter now, FYI, and it is a substitute sugar. So it's got the OAL on the end of it, or litol or whatever, some kind of a sugar, and it's a glycol sugar, and it's a sugar that are poisonous to dogs. So you cannot give your dog peanut butter anymore unless you know the ingredients in your peanut butter. FYI, it's killing dogs. And it's some kind of artificial sweetener in peanut butter. And you need to, if you give your dog peanut butter, you need to look it up and investigate into that rumor too. And I believe the rumors are true. So I'm interested in making my own dog treats. for my dog. And I was telling Joe, if it's cheaper for me to buy a hamburger than to buy an expensive dog treats are expensive, then I probably will be saving money by giving my dog just hamburger, cheap hamburger off the stove versus buying expensive dog treats. And that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. And I have been trying to do this natural diet where you eat natural foods and not eat anything processed or highly processed. Like your lunch meat and your cheeses are highly processed. They're processed and processed and processed so much that it's not the real ingredient that's in it anymore. They've processed it too much, you know? So, bread, anything with flour, cookies, crackers, lunch meat, all of that is artificial food. So, if you were to eat just plain vegetables, plain salads, plain fruit, and plain ordinary fresh meat, then your diet will improve and your gut will improve. And that is what the keto diet is about. It's all natural foods, getting off of the processed foods. And I'm addicted to crackers and cake and flour, flour tortillas. I'm addicted to it. But that's what we need to be on. We need to be on natural food, fresh food. And then if you can go organic, that's even better because you don't have the pesticides and the additives added into your fresh food. So anyway, did you all decide on another name, on a better name? Exactly. The poisons on the crops are pesticides to kill the bugs so the bugs don't eat the fruit and vegetables. Exactly. And some of them you can wipe them off and rinse them off. Some of them you can't. Apples, they put a wax on an apple, and you literally have to scrub the apple or peel it to get the poisons off of an apple. Same thing with oranges. Oranges off of a tree is not pretty and orange. The oranges off my fresh tree down here are spotted. They're spotted, you know, fruit. But they put orange food coloring on the outside of the oranges to make them orange to sell to people. Yeah, and the poisons are in the soil now because of the soil erosion. Yes, yes, and they do rotate crops because if they've been growing a lot of broccoli in one field, they'll trade it off with another field, every other year to break up that soil lost nutrition that's lost out of the soil that we get in the food. Yeah. So let's see here, little boy. Little boy. Little boy, little boy, little boy. What are we going to do with him? We've got him all dressed up. our little baby boy. Let's see here. Well, let's try this way. Okay. I could put some baby beads on them. I'll make him a little necklace. Put him some beads around his neck. That'll work. So can we call him Little Bubba? Can we call him Little Bubba or Little Boy? He's a good boy. That's the longest daggone needle I've ever seen. That's a weapon. Like, don't come near me. I'll stick you with my needle. Stay where you are. We even decorate the back of our cards. Put a bow on the back. There. Put some beads on them. Okay, I'm going to name him little boy. He's our little baby boy. I've got beads, I've got buttons, I've got ribbon, I've got lace. I've got stickers, got a tag, got a tassel. I think we can call him done. These samples are awesome. Awesome samples. Tip of the day, go get your samples. They will have to go close, stay close, so we can use them. So I've been gluing the samples on the back of the page. Our pattern. Just because. Okay. I think he's done. Put that up. Put some stickers up. Save that for the next time. Save that for the next time. Okay. I found this in my stash today. I thought that might be cute on a dog. I was going to put it in my scraps there. Okay. We're going to put little boy on here. Nobody said anything, so that's what I'm going to do. Little boy, he's done. And I got here's one we did the other day. He could use a little bit more decorations. Calopsy Pearl. P-E-R-A, no L. Okay. I'll tell you what I think I would like on him is some of those flowers at the in that craft box that Joe gave me. Some of those There was some flowers at the bottom of this thing. Could do something like that on him. Make that tag look sweeter. I think that's it. So let's work on this. Mm-hmm. We can do that. Put a bunch of glue on there. Put some flowers on there. Give a little haircut. There, that's what that needed. A little something on the top. I put a googly eye in there. He's got a nose. But he's a long-haired dog. Okay. Just gonna let that dry. Let this one dry. I could put some pink beads on the tassel. I could. That looks good. We got anybody still in the bandwagon? Anybody still with me? Everybody's quiet. Is it late? It's 10:30. It is late. I know Janet went to bed. It was after midnight where she lived. I'm just finishing up. Finishing up. Just put a few beads on this one. The tassel needs a few beads. That'll work. That'll work. Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Is Nora in the house?
Yeah.
Okay, because I hear some dogs yapping outside.
That's them next door.
And they don't sound very happy. Double check. There. That looks really cute. Put some more beads around the knot. Cool. Cool. Well, guys, thanks, Rhonda. I think I'm about done for the night. I still got my rain stick to play with, so we'll work on it. We'll work on it Tuesday. It's Saturday night, so I'll work on it Tuesday, and I'm going to put popcorn in it, and then I'm going to put these dowel rods in each of the holes. I'll pound them in and let them go in about halfway across, and I'll do it in each one of these holes. Break the stick off, glue it in, and then the sticks will be on the inside all the way down. So when you tilt your corn up, it'll trickle down off of the sticks inside, and it'll make it's like a rain stick sound. It's a musical instrument. So Joe was nice enough to put me these holes in. He put quite a few in, so it'll be a dandy. And this will continue to dry. It's still green because it was fresh from the yard. And the one that I already have is not green anymore, and it is brown. So this will probably continue to dry out, and then we can paint it, and we can paint anything we want on our thing. I know, Rhonda. I love musical instruments. And then I've got some more clay. I want to make some shakers out of my clay. So I'll save that for Tuesday too. And I'll continue to work on the ocarinas and see if I can get them to blow. But I think this is all I'm going to do tonight. And we've had a good day. good day. We've done this, and we've done some clay. Let me get my clay back over here and get a picture for us. And I'll post a picture. And I gotta make a hole in this too. Can't be there. I have to be over here. So it can, so I can put a string on it and hang it. That's what that's for. So you're going to have to teach Joe how to play one of your instruments. Yeah, I know. I will. He'll play with me. So we got little boy, and we got some clay play. We showed this little girl off. And that'll be my picture for Facebook for tonight. Woo! Ooh, Teresa fixed chicken and dumplings tonight. Good girl. So we did Saturday night. So there we go. It's posted. Ta-da! Cool. You too, guys. Have a nice rest of the weekend, and I'll be back Tuesday night. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me tonight. It was really fun. I love it. I thought maybe it was a little bit too much, but I think it's just right. The more the merrier. The more the merrier. So, you guys have a good weekend. Have a good night. And I'll see you soon. If y'all need me, you can message me. So, thanks for hanging out. Good night.